We are live. Let's play some D&D. We have session 19 of Storm King's Thunder here. This one's going to be titled Fight or Flight. And that should be a pretty obvious question if you think about it. Fight a horde of frost giants or run away? I'm sure the group definitely knows what's going to happen, and we'll get right into it. So last we left off, they were fighting in the temple of Thrym. We had the group meet up and basically destroy 5 frost giants while battling with a dragon that ended up not making it. And that's where we leave off. Octavios, you just came out of your vision. Decades have passed in your mind, but seconds has passed in reality. As you look around the group and are kind of dumbfounded, you see that the ring is on your finger. You still feel the sting of it cutting into your flesh, putting it on. You look around and Harshnag is kind of patiently standing there, but he says, "We must go. Nurth and the other Broshen. They're idiots, but it won't be long before they realize that they can pin this on us instead of themselves."
You're right. We must go. And he would look around the room to his fellow companions, and he would mutter under his breath, "Thank you," like you did the first time, and then he would hurry to Harshnag's side and get ready to leave.
Absolutely. What's everybody else doing?
Getting ready to leave.
So
yeah, Sunlight is adjusting and making sure that she's good for transport for moving the relics.
Yeah. So you got the talisman of the Allfather.
Awesome.
Yes, but it's the size of a giant's finger, right?
Yeah, it's more of like a giant's necklace, I guess, so even bigger, but it basically fits on you like a big tractor's tire or something, and you have that on your back.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of thought of it either the same thing, like a big tractor tire, or maybe she used some of her rope and made it into like a backpack type of thing.
Yeah,
maybe.
So you have it on your back, and it's like big and bulky, but it's not heavy enough to like be burdensome to you. I think we said that it's like 10-20 pounds.
Yeah.
I see that Livy has her hand up as she's patiently waiting to ask a question.
Yeah, I'm just remembering, does the crossbow emanate warmth or only when it's up in like she's going to shoot it position, or does it even continue to give warmth when she
the warmth that you felt is the warmth of like a powerful arcane energy. So now that you've kind of like attuned yourself to it, that warmth is there. Sorry, but it's not necessarily like a warmth of like heat, if that makes sense.
Okay. Anyways, I was gonna be like, she's just kind of looking awkward as she's just like,
yeah. Every time you hold it up, though, like in your peripheral vision, you do see the maiden's garden kind of come and like poke up, and there's all these beautiful flowers. So if you ever like hold it up and look down the iron flower cross sight, you would see the garden and be reminded of it. And even though you don't necessarily feel the warmth, you can definitely remember that beautiful place.
She wouldn't be doing that right now. Then, focus, task at hand. Let's go. But man, tonight is she gonna have fun? Guess what, guys? So onwards.
Absolutely. So you'll remember being in the temple that Harshnag basically came from the eastern side, where the two-headed giant Narthrex was basically made a camp of the place. And he would have told you that he drove the boat around the cliffside and climbed up this 100-foot cliff to get to you guys. It took him forever, and he looks a bit exhausted from the climb, but he's a very powerful frost giant himself, so he looks ready to go, and he starts to lead you, and he's asking who has climbing gear. It's not necessarily going to be an easy descent. This is going to be quite dangerous. And then he's looking back.
Rope.
No, nobody's like, you have rope, and he's like, okay, but do you have any like pythons or axes, any kind of climber's kit?
I'm pretty adept at climbing. I think that
there is an old way to make that kind of stuff. If we just had a few more hours.
Well, I don't know if time is on our essence, Octavios. I don't
Do an
know.
offer. Like I have bolts. Like would those work for sticking in? Like there's just a few of them left, but
I would highly recommend just jumping over the edge with a flag like a parachute. It worked last time.
When we get out of this situation, I definitely mean to talk to you two idiots about that. You almost blew our cover. Harshnag looks at you. If you would have alerted the place, we would have been dead. But that was quick thinking, Octavius.
Octavius would just kind of smile to himself. Getting praise from this frost giant would be huge to him.
All right. So you pack yourselves up and you start to head towards the door. And as you're looking, you have Belladora with you. You have Sir Beric, Harshnag in the lead, and the rest of the party moving along. Octavius,
right?
What's that?
Derek's still with us too, right? He's still.
As you look, actually, since you mentioned that, you notice that Cyric is standing still. You turn around and you make eye contact with him, and he looks to you, and he's just this.
Are you coming, Cyric?
He's like a pretty young looking boy, right? He's in his 20s, but he still has like a bit of innocence and like youth to him, even though he's in his 20s, and he's kind of just like standing there shivering with his dart gun or his blow dart that he has. And he just looks to you all and says, we can't leave. We can't go. I can't go.
why not?
Do you not remember what the giants did to Bryn Shanders? If we leave now, they'll just come back.
So what is... Wait, what? What? So
You heard the giant
King here is
himself.
going to rectify that.
This is my father's fault, and he's not here to pay the consequences for that, but I am. And he's just kind of standing there, and you guys probably looking back at him like, what is this idiot talking about? But he's shivering, but he looks at you with like a firmness in his eyes. If we leave right now, there's nothing stopping all those giants out there from just coming back and destroying everything. And do you think that they'll stop at Bryn Shanders when they don't find us?
Don't they still have the stone thingy that
Yes.
they track him anyway?
They'll be tracking you with the stone. Wherever you go,
Yeah.
they will go. They want to go to British Shanders.
But you guys have the stone, remember? You took it from you free. And I'm pretty sure they'll remember where Bryn Shanders is. They'll go there first, and if they don't get any answers, then they'll just keep going. And all those people that they destroy will be on my conscience. And your conscience. I know that there's not I don't know what we can do. It's just this many of us and that many of these powerful giants, but I know that if we just leave here, many people will die because of it.
Many people die every day, young man. Do you want to be one of them?
Did anyone else see those human-like people that we saw coming in? They were definitely not frost giants. I wonder why they are here. Maybe we can use them in a rebellion.
As you say that, you hear, the boy is very smart indeed, and you, sir, have a keen eye. A voice just suddenly unfamiliar seems to come out of nowhere. You look around. You don't see anything. Everyone's looking around. Apologies, I forgot about. And then, poof, suddenly in front of you is that blonde-haired man that Octavius and Warndell seen talking to Nurth and Broshin. The boy's right. If you leave now, those giants won't stop until they've gotten their revenge.
Octavius would give a knowing nod to Warndell.
Who do you know this man?
We've seen him before. He gave me the only idea that I could think of to save ourselves.
And that was quick thinking indeed.
Thought of. That's an interesting idea.
Those humanoids you speak of, good sir, they are barbarians of the Tiger tribe. The giants slayed their king and enslaved them. I guess the formalities. My name is Niran. What are you doing here? It seems strange that he starts counting, and I actually have to count in my head how many there are of you. What is it? What is it? 8 of you? Why would just 8 of you come here and face off against these giants? Surely you can't hope to win. But this boy speaks of bravery, facing off against them. What has brought you to Varberg?
We could ask you the same thing.
He did.
And I would tell you that I have come here to stop what the giants are trying to do. They wish to destroy this world. I have infiltrated them. They think I'm helping them.
That's mighty
A small folk, as they call us all the time.
Yes, but a small folk that has connections, he says. He's in his robes or whatnot, and you've already seen that he's cast invisibility, so you get the sense that he's a caster of some sort. Now, the giants are looking for something. Do you know what that is?
I think it's this boy.
This boy, you say? The boy, Sirik speaks up. Not necessarily me, but my father.
Yeah, his father and the giants have some history. Or at least giants are interested in something that his father has or had. Well, did have. I don't know where it would be right now, if his father's still alive or not.
You speak of the Ring of Winter.
Mm-hmm.
You say this boy is the father to him, the
The
owner.
son of.
Yes, artist Simber.
Yes, Simber.
Apparently.
Well, it seems like our missions are at least somehow aligned, for I have come here knowing that the giants seek the Ring of Winter, doing everything in my power to make sure that they don't get it.
Oh, what was the giant in the floating castle? It started with a Z, I think.
Zephyros.
Zephyrus, yeah. It should be like, oh, did you meet Zephyrus too?
I do not know who that is.
Oh, okay.
Is
So-
the only other friendly giant we've met besides the King's
giants-
brother or whatever?
It was our BFG.
The Frost Giants wanted to send their entire fleet out the coast and just destroy everything. Now, I managed to convince them to just use the Bloodstone and track Simber. I know that there was probably a lot of casualties, but I feel like I at least held back a few. I apologize that they went to Bryn. That's where you're from, all of you?
Do I look like I'm
Where we were last.
That's where he's from. We came from that direction. We are not
And
locals.
now you've come here, just the 8 of you.
Yes.
How would we get the barbarians to fight with us?
Well, they're barbarians, so one thing that they do love is fighting. 2, their current leader, Bornhild Sovita, she is the wife of the king that they slayed, Koltar. You can imagine that she isn't necessarily happy with the giants. You just need to prove your worth to them. They're looking for a reason.
What are they?
Right now they're defeated. What did you say, sir? I'm sorry.
I just asked what they were doing. I don't know why they seem to be digging at that ice.
Well, the giants are looking to undig more of the ships that have been entombed here. They plan to build a full fleet. and storm the coastlines and wreak havoc on all of Faerun until they find the ring. And then once they do, they plan to bury it in what they call the ice that never melts.
So
Yeah, hearing that, Octavius would look at the rest of the group with weary eyes, and they would probably understand by looking at him that he was prepared to stick around if he had to.
Now, before you showed up, I was working on turning Nurth and Broshan, and then planning a rebellion myself with the barbarians. Unfortunately, it seems like you sent those two packing. I seen them
You
walking out
just
the
get
front
them
door.
back by telling it was part of the plan.
He looks. Well, why did you send them? I'm confused. Why did you send them away? You've come here, and now you plan to run.
we came here for what we wanted, and now it's time to leave. This is not our fight, sir.
Libby's only like half covered in her own blood anyway, so it's like it's there's a lot of giants.
I
It may
agree
not-
with the cat. We
it
should
may
just
not-
leave.
It may not be a fight, but will it be a fight if they get the ring and end the world? Do you like this weather?
Well, you seem to have had it under control before. I'm sure you'll do just fine. I say we go.
So, because I'm not from anywhere near here, and all of this is new to me. Are these all of the frost giants in the whole world?
Mm-hmm.
No. These are the frost giants under the Jarl's command.
So,
I believe there's more on the north side of the spine of the world. But this is the biggest, what's the word I'm looking for?
active,
Fleet of giants that work together under the Jarl's command.
okay, so, and then she looks to Harshnag. So your brother, this Jarl or whatever he's called, he rules all of the frost giants, like in all of the world.
Sturvad only controls the giants that are at the Vadberg.
Okay, so
Although the fleet that he is gathering, if he continues the warpath that he's on, he is bound to gain more respect of more frost giants. If there's one thing that frost giants love, it's sailing out on their longships and destroying.
it's just, and I'm doing that on purpose. So, all right. So now, Harshnag, you've talked about it, and some of the other people have talked about it. So there's all these other different kind of giants, and I met the king of the most important giant, or something like that was Race's dad, right?
According to your stories, yes.
Yes,
Hecaton.
it's not a story because it really happened, but that's okay. But okay, so if these frost giants, what's to stop any of the other giants from doing anything else? I don't understand what we have something that we came here for. I'm carrying it on my back right now. Why are we still having this conversation? Would you want to come with us, blonde-haired man? We could use another, able-bodied person to make our escape.
What is your mission? Why have you stolen this talisman?
Because apparently I don't know, she says.
He seems like equally like confused. Like to him, he thought you were here to like cause the rebellion also, and then now that he's like see that you guys are here and like planning to run away, he seems like he doesn't necessarily fully understand. Obviously, to which he would say to Octavius,
I'm so confused. I have this thing, and I know we came here to get this, and this is so new to me. I'm so confused.
Nilram would ask you, you say what is stopping the other giants from going about and destroying the world? Have you not heard of much world news? Many of the giants of all the castes are currently laying waste to much of Faerun. There's not a lot that we can do to stop the grand scheme of things, but I've been sent here to at least slow it down.
From who?
Sorry, I do not understand your question. From who? What do you mean?
Said you were sent here. Who sent you?
From people who are interested in the world not being ended.
Do those? Why is everybody always vague when they need to be poignant? Who are the people that you're speaking of?
People who would have paid me very well not to speak of who sent me here. Now, clearly, with the talisman on your back and your plan to run, you are being vague with me as well. It is not uncommon for strangers to be vague, but it seems like we at least have some things in line with our goals. This boy is right. If you leave now with these dead frost giants, the Jarl will be pissed, and he will not stop until he's not only found the ring, but spilled enough blood to equal that lost of his kin, and more. Is this your fight? Probably not. But why have you come this far? Anyone who wants to can insight this check too, by the way.
I did an earlier insight just to see, is this guy being honest with us? Is he really trying to, is he kind of on our side of things? And rolled a 10, so I'll stick with that.
Yeah, I rolled an 8.
All right.
Ow.
That's a 22.
22. So, obviously, you're already on the right track as it is, Corey, or Sunlit, when you seem like kind of uncomfortable about his vagueness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he was in line, if his plan was just to save the world, then why would it matter why he wouldn't speak of it?
Exactly.
But doesn't necessarily mean like he's super bad. Like 22 doesn't, you don't have him pinned as like this evil guy or whatnot.
So this is the thing here, sir. We need to tell. Okay, I'm gonna info dump because I don't remember all of it exactly. You know what I mean? Of why we need a talisman.
Yep. So you just dump all that info, like blah 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 blah.
And so now we've given you some information and have been forthcoming of why we need this talisman. Sharing information might be very helpful, from a better word, to all of us.
Interesting.
Transparency.
The Oracle. I've heard of the giants speak of this, but I thought it just a legend.
No, it was under your nose the entire time.
And you wish to go to this Oracle to what cause? You say that it knows anything?
Apparently.
All
so
right.
what do you know, sir?
Well, much of what I've told you, that the giants are here seeking the ring.
You're repeating yourself. That's not what do you know you haven't explained to us already? Who is your employer? Because we've given you a vast amount of information that we didn't have to strangers, as you talked about.
He would tell you that his employer is a noble person of Waterdeep.
Wonderful. Now, was that so hard? So, the Waterdeep, that's a rather large city, as I've heard about now. This person has.
That's where Olivia's from.
Yes, one of the nine lords. Now, if you're from Waterdeep, then you know why I am vague. For the lords themselves do not like to have their presence known.
Is that true, Olivia?
They are a secret bunch. Is that true? Did you know that?
Yes. So, Livy, being from Waterdeep, you would know that there is basically what are called the Lords of Waterdeep, and basically anytime they go around, they're always wearing masks. Their identities are always kept secret, and they basically, because Waterdeep is such like a cutthroat place for politics, and the Nine Lords always keep their identities basically secret so that they can't be slandered or assassinated or whatnot.
Okay. Yeah, she'd just be nodding like, oh yeah.
That is where I landed, right?
Yeah. That's where you landed, I believe.
Yeah. So, okay. So, I've spent a bit of time there. I've seen those masked people. It's people from this continent are very secretive, it seems. So, I guess the long and short of it, sir, is if you lost your two cohorts and we messed that up for you, I'm sorry. But
Well, we could have run out and got them, but instead we sat here and talked about our backstories, but that's okay. We don't have long, I imagine. It's probably like 5 minutes has passed to do that info dump that you did on him.
Yeah.
Like maybe 10 minutes has passed.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Harshnag is like impatiently waiting, like, we need to make a decision. This man and Sirik are not right. If we leave now, the giants will not stop until they've ruined much. Although I'll be honest with you, the 8 of you, even the 9, if you are a powerful caster yourself, I do not think that we could fare against the Jarl and his fleet.
Absolutely
So,
not.
if
I
you
don't
want,
care much for the boy either, so I am leaving. And she turns around and starts walking towards Harshnag.
Sirik would say, well, I'm staying.
We all make choices in this life, boy. I guess this is yours.
What's the rest of the group doing?
Morin will look between the two of them for a moment. The cat is right. We got what we came for. The best we can do is go somewhere else and continue our journey. Let this blonde-haired fool continue his. I'll go with the kitty.
Such are the thoughts of someone who is clearly so untrained. He looks at you and kind of scours Warndell.
I don't need to be trained as natural.
Now, I won't argue with the giant. Harshnag it is, I've heard of you through tales. We cannot fare against these giants themselves, but what we can do, if you do have this key to all of the answers, this oracle, is we can slow them down. The Krigvin is the fastest ship on the 7 seas.
No more.
He looks at you cockeyed like, the Krigvin is the fastest ship.
No more.
That's hilarious.
We have a small little schooner, a bit of a canoe down there that is the fastest ship on the seas. Trust me.
I would sooner trust a dead stump.
I've heard worse.
What I'm suggesting is that we slow them down. We destroy the ship. And then we flee with whatever ship that you apparently have. This ship that is capable of outrunning a dragon. Because that's what you'll need to do if you want to get away from the Krigvin.
And why would that be?
Because they have a dragon.
And we watched them execute his sister.
Yes, but does he know that? Do you think that those 2 giants who are doomed if they tell the truth will walk over there and say that the giants killed the dragon? Or do you think that they will tell the dragon that infiltrators came and slayed her sister? You tell me which story seems more likely and more believable.
I think that...
and then what will you do? Will you talk your way?
So.
You will tell the dragon as he descends upon you and engulfs you in his freezing breath that it was not you.
You can get the eggs. Maybe they'd be of interest to him.
Now, I will tell you that my time spent here, I have learned much about this place. The giant is locked up by a magical chain. I happen to know the releasing word.
You mean the dragon?
Yes, Cryoving is his name. He is the brother to Eisendrag, who lays headless on this floor. Now, if your story makes it to the dragon, and the magical words are spoken to break his bond, that is one more ally on our side.
Yes, of course, but you've already said that our blight here. There's one giant and more than two handfuls of giants.
By my count, the Jarl's fleet currently stands at 20 strong, including himself. I'm very educated on this place. I know much of it. I also count what was once 2 dragons, which were not very happy to be captive, now cut down to 1. 19 barbarian tribesmen and women who are very angry at what the giants have done to them and looking for a chance for vengeance. And 8 yetis, which the barbarian tribes had under their control until the giants came. Bjornhild is a very fearless woman and a brave leader of the tiger tribe. I'm telling you that if we're able to rally them and the dragon, we can at the very least slow them down and be able to escape. I don't know what plan your pitiful arcane user thinks he has, but you cannot outrun the Krigvin.
I'm all for, let's help these people. Let's help them. We'll have more on our side. And we'll go, hopefully without more bloodshed, but I don't think they deserve to be stuck here. We can make a difference.
I think it sounds too easy, and we should help them. We shouldn't just turn around and run. If we can at least just help the barbarians rebel, then hope more than nothing. Plus, we give ourselves a head start.
I'm not asking you guys to fight the whole entire fleet of the giants. I'm only trying to help you escape. It's only a matter of minutes now before Nerth and Broshin approach the Jarl and give whatever terrible story it is that they have. And although they are imbeciles, it will make more sense to the Jarl that intruders came and stole the missing talisman that you have before you than these 2 fumbling idiots decided to cause a rebellion on their own. At that point, the Krigvin will descend into the water. They will use the dragon to pull themselves along with the pennant of Vind that they have. Even without that pennant, it is a fast ship. As he now looks and sees that you have it kind of like wrapped in between your arms and you have like this big smile on your face, he's like, yes, I've figured out your master plan. Have you even attuned to that thing yet?
It'll take a little while.
But you do what you will. You go into the water, you run. The giants will catch you in no time. The dragon will freeze you. They will eat you. Your cause will be lost. And then they will storm to Bryn Shanders, destroy it, and then not stop there.
Now you're just trying to
Doom and
bully us.
gloom.
Just saying. We understand the risks and whatnot. We get the odds. I am all for trying. We should go help these people that have been enslaved, and we'll hopefully everyone get out together, and we will have the numbers in our, or better in our favor. 20 frost giants.
Yes, my
She
girl.
kind of shakes her head. It's just like, ow, my head hurts.
So when we start this fight, if we do such a thing, then what?
Avoid a
We're
fight.
all going to die anyway. It's not like 20 barbarians and yetis, and all of us can fit on my fancy canoe.
Harshnag would speak up, and although the wizard speaks true of the issues that will come, I don't know if we can make this fight. Even rallying everybody. Destroying the Krigvin would be our best bet, but running would be the safest. Regardless, I have aligned myself with you and put my trust in you. I'll stick by your sides, whatever you choose. I would like nothing more than to see my brother's fleet destroyed. So if that's the route you choose, I will give my life to see it through.
I think at this point, Octavius would just kind of drop his hammer to the ground, kind of noticeably make some noise, and just kind of stare down at it. And he'd be kind of obviously bothered, and he'd be like, why did we even start this if it wasn't to help people along the way? I really feel like this is a part of the whole mission, that these small victories will help us build momentum and build friends to help us at the end and hopefully achieve victory over this whole course. I think we should stay and help these people.
But Octavius, this is not a small victory. This is a death wish. We've come here to die if we do this.
I
this
agree.
whole thing was a death wish. You know that just as much as anyone else.
And yet we have what we
We
need
have
here.
everywhere.
If we die now, it's
maybe
off
this
or not.
I stand with Tavios. He's right. It's just momentum for us.
Belladora would speak up and say that she stands with Sunlit and Warren. We should get the hell out. We can't win every fight. Sir Barrick's point of view would be for Tyr. The only justice that could be served is the justice to these giants for what they did to Bryn. I stand with the boy. And Cyric has already drawn his lines. Harshnag is neutral. So up to the rest of you as the NPCs state their motives.
I cannot believe that me and my largest challenge here in this group
He's the best friend.
Point. But we can't leave on our own. They're worn down.
Chris, can I cast Mass Heal?
Yeah, absolutely. But as you look around, I should tell you the state of the party. Do you want to know the state of the party, or you just want to cast it?
It's bad.
I'd like to know the state of the party.
Sunlit looks like she's beat to shit.
Mm-hmm.
But one wound on me.
Everybody else is in really good shape. So maybe Maskiel is not necessarily the best when it looks like pretty much Sunlit is the only person who's injured somehow. I don't remember how that happened, but
Livy looks awful, but she's okay.
I'm going to use my Preserve Life then and heal Sunlit for 17 health points.
Okay. Go ahead and add that to your sheet, Miss Sunlit.
Warren will walk up beside Harshnag. So tell me, with what we have here, our fancy group, you know our capabilities, you know what you're capable of. Very fancy and all, but add a few Yetis, maybe a couple barbarians and a pissed off dragon. What are our odds on killing the Jarl and getting out of here alive?
0.
That is my thought too, but I'll give it to the expert. He knows what they're capable of.
Harshnag strokes his big, long, frost giant beard, which has big streaks of chunks of ice in it and is white as the snow. And he says, in a straight-up fight, there are few that can beat frost giants at equal numbers. The Jarl is a powerful fighter, and not only that, but has some talents in arcane abilities. He'll be a worthy foe. I know not now in my old age if I could even take him myself. Although, a straight-up fight does not seem like what we're going for.
Yeah, this seems like an espionage mission.
Neilron would speak up again. What we need to do is take those the giant's ego has oppressed upon and turn that against them. They're foolish when they think that they can just rule over those and not have any repercussions. They have bullied the dragons. They have bullied the barbarians. They're ready to turn. They just need reason to believe that they can survive.
Then lead the way, blonde-haired man. I don't want to talk about it. Either we're going to do this or we're going to leave. I would follow what my group does, because that's what a tabaxi would do.
The barbarians will not trust me. They've seen that I've worked with the frost giants.
Then
Yes.
what makes you think that a person that they've never met in their lives they're going to trust either?
I'm not saying what we're going to do is easy.
I say Warren and Sunlit go and release the dragon, and Octavius and Lily will go and talk to the dudes.
Leading up. That sounds like a wonderful
Why did I say
idea
Lily?
there, Octavius.
It worked for infiltrating the city. Nothing bad
Belgar is
happened.
going to speak up. This suicide mission and all, like, I can't deny that I love the idea of walking into a suicide mission, surviving it, and then going on another suicide mission. Like that's just great. I like where you guys are going with this, but I also don't want to beat around the bush about the fact that those two frost giants are probably outdoors of the Jarl's house right around now. So the longer we stand here in this exact moment and discuss whether we believe we're going to save the world or save a couple people, that's great and all. But we probably shouldn't stand here where we slayed a bunch of giants. So choice is yours.
I'm ready. Let's go find these barbarians.
Octavius run to the edge of the doorway to the temple, and he'll peer out. I'll roll if you want me to. And he will look for those two giants and try to do a perception check to see if he can see them.
Do
Where they are.
check. Do perception check. Let me pull up your character sheet and see if you have any bonuses to that. Since
I rolled a 15 with no mods.
15 with no mods, plus 3 is 18. So even with a good look of the place, you indeed, now that 10 plus minutes have passed, do not see Nirth and Broshen. You see their big footsteps marching down. As you look out, you get a good view of the place and see that it doesn't seem like it's on alert yet. So wherever they're heading, they haven't completely told on you, but you do not see them. But you also see no reason to believe that the giants have been alerted yet either.
Okay, Octavius would turn back into the room and he would look to everyone and he would say, I believe that those two giants could be of help. We might have wasted our chance, but you invisible wizard, you seem to be able. Why don't you share the word to release the chain with Sunlit and Warrendale before you go and see if you can con those two giants into joining our cause once again?
He would look at you. And what do I tell them? How do I know that when I leave, you don't flee right now? And I am left a fool.
Because that's what the wise part.
You are asking us
we
to
never
trust
do the
you.
wise thing.
Maybe you trust us.
He looks at you, Octavius, and nods. He sees he judges you as a true speaking person. The words to release the magical chains are Juvenfette. I'll spell it in chat since.
Octavius would look one that and ask if they are willing to do this, and if they feel as though they can accomplish it.
Of course.
Are you speaking to me? Because again, as I just
Yes.
said, none of the decisions that we've made in this entire time of knowing each other have been wise. So why should we start now?
Perfect. And they'll be like, he'll look to Livy and he'll be like, all right, let's see if we can get a bunch of barbarians to follow us.
Yes.
He would look to Harsnag and he'd be like, dude, I have no idea what to ask you to do. You're huge. Hopefully one of the members has something to see if you can do it.
I will wait for a time to arise when my presence is needed. And make no mistake that I will make it known.
So
I'm going to assume that the
quick
NPCs will
question
join.
here for all of this. So we have the man who has maybe the rightful heir to all of this. Is that correct, Harshnag?
Oh no, the frost giants
No.
would never look at me as a ruler, for I do not believe in murdering the innocent and helpless.
But that's not what I'm saying. I mean, by birthright, are you the rightful heir to all of this?
I was next in line before casted out.
So wouldn't your presence create quite a stir here?
If a stir is 20 frost giants descending out of their castles or lodges and trying to kill me, then yes, that would be quite a stir. I don't know why my accent suddenly changed to Niran's accent. He just has a personality.
Everybody.
Yes.
As you said, you would be willing to die for this cause. So then I guess if it...
He looks at you like, come on, man. I didn't think you were going to call me out on that right away.
No, but
yes.
But if...
I am willing to die. If it means saving the world.
No,
not encourage him to risk his life yet.
That's not the point, Olivia. It's this. Is that if it all goes really bad, that
if it all goes really bad,
last, hope.
If it all goes really bad, I will challenge the Jarl. And from there, you do everything that you can to get to the ship and run.
Just wanted to have a backup plan.
Yes, I agree. I'm the ones who brought you here, so I will do everything I can to make sure that you do not die for my choice. If it comes down to it, run if you have to. I will do everything I can to slow them down.
Yes, I'm sure our little legs will do very well. And she looks to her new friend, apparently, and says, "So I guess we have to go release the dragon."
Release the dragon. Be sure that you tell them what has happened here. Yes, they hold much sway over him before they have the eggs, but perhaps knowing the slaying of his sister would be enough to provoke him into a rage.
You would go over to the dragon head. Is there anything that is is there any noticeable feature of this dragon head where he would believe us that that she was slain and how it happened?
Give me a perception check. Or actually investigation, sorry. This is definitely investigation.
So like wearing a talisman or anything like that, yeah. That's not a great check for me, but we're gonna try. Big number, one whammies. 14's not bad.
14. So, you tell me what you find on this white dragon that is something that looks distinguished.
So, yeah, I mean, often I've seen, in many dragons, maybe she has like a crystal or something that she wears in her head or something, you know what I mean? Just something that would show that why would we be able to have this if she was still alive type deal thing.
Yeah, so we'll say that in kind of like emblazoned on her forehead is a rather nice looking gemstone that she obviously acquired from her hoard, but fancied it, so kind of froze it on her head as some kind of like headdress. So yeah, we'll say that that's definitely there.
All right, so she removes that and goes, well, this should prove to him that she's slain and that if he believes us and doesn't freeze us immediately, and it's a really bad idea.
Aren't those always the best ideas, though? Niran kind of smiles.
What are you going to do, Niran?
What you've told me. Go find Nerth and Broshan and tell them that the rebellion is about to begin and that they're Jarldom, if they seek it still.
And she's very annoyed. And is there any way to sneak out of this place? You know it so well.
Sneak out of which place? This temple itself? He'd point over at the water in the northwest corner of this thing and say, if you fancy a cold swim, you can actually swim under it. But
this is the quickest way to the dragon.
The water is quite nipply.
He's just like blinking at him.
Other than that, there's the front door, which you entered, and the back door, which your friend Hoshneg made the wonderful scenic climb. I apologize, I do not have better answers for you, but unfortunately, other than the water and those 2 exits, there's not much else for this place.
Will we freeze to death in that water? I don't like water.
Maybe not you because you have fur, but
Nah, I can keep myself warm, but I prefer not to swim. We can just walk around. It'll be clear.
So the plan is release the dragon, get the barbarians, steal the boat and escape, correct?
Yeah,
He
they'll
laughs.
make it worse than they-
He laughs. Steal the Krigvind. Do you have 20 frost giants to operate it?
I think we just need to destroy it or hurt it or disable it.
Made of wood, right?
Yes,
So then
That's
it will
very-
burn.
indeed.
Why don't we just set the dragon free, get the barbarians to rebel, and then leave?
But we need to shut up and then do something. Because we've been talking for far too long, as Belladora has, and many others.
All right, let's go.
Yeah,
All right.
said.
So we're splitting the group then. Who's going where? I love this plan.
Yeah, it's
maybe us
shitty.
and Livy are together.
Octavius and Livy, and then Warndell and Sunlit. And what do you want your NPC friends to do?
Are you coming with me,
on,
Belladora?
Belladora.
We did so well last time.
Oh, my 2 besties making me choose between them. I have what are my options here? She starts to go into. I can go swim in a frigid ice Arctic below pond and freeze to death, or I can go talk to a horde of barbarians who are pissed off and probably get my head chopped off. The choices are so wonderful, but my hair is looking quite nice today, so I'm gonna go with Livy on the account that I don't want to mess my hair up.
I'm not going in that water, Belladora, but that's fine. Me and Octavius, me and Warndell, maybe a small group might be best for this anyways. I don't know if you go with the barbarians, and he and I will make our way.
I'll give you a fist bump.
Yeah.
I'll bump.
So, as I got this right then, we're sending the 2 besties in the form of Warndell and Sunlit on a recon mission. And then the rest of the group, obviously excluding Harshnag, because he's a sore thumb, is going to the barbarians.
Oh.
He can just swim out through the secret, right?
Harshnag doesn't give a damn about water, so he can go into the water if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
If he wants to.
Yeah, he'll just like whatever jump into the water and like slowly descend down it. You see his beard like get picked up by the water and then kind of descend underneath. All right, so you tell me who wants to go first on their mission.
Come on, Warndell, let's go.
All right, so you step out into the cold
We're gonna
again.
go out the back door.
You're gonna go out the back door.
Well, it's not
Whichever way is the quickest, I'd ask our blonde-haired friend up.
So if your mission is to get to the dragon, then the quickest way is definitely out the front door, because the Krigvind is basically stationed in the middle of the fortress. I'll share the map.
Means that we still have to figure out water.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Who? It's not like nobody doesn't like water or something, right?
Yeah, it's not like it's not like she hates water or anything.
I just realized I sent you the GM version of that. Hopefully you can't click those links.
Can't click nothing on it.
Great.
Okay.
But yeah, let's do it.
All right, so you step out, and as you look into this innards of this massive iceberg fortress, you do see that the barbarians have called it a day as the sun is now beginning to set. You look and you see that there's 5 giants that are basically like finishing up scrubbing the deck, and you look and you see like a chained dragon sitting in the middle of this ginormous long ship. It like even the giant ships that the other giants are already on that look massive in comparison to what you're used to, this ship is just like outrageously big.
So is it? What number is it? 9 or 9?
It's none of those. It's actually in basically the middle of the water.
Okay.
I don't have a token for it, but it has come in. Those 3 ships are not any of the could have been.
Okay.
So, and then as you look around, you would notice now that the sun is kind of setting that the frost giants seem to, conveniently enough for you, be finishing up with the day's work. And you would notice that a couple go down to the southwest building, marked number 1, and then the rest seem to head to the lodge that's marked number 2. So conveniently enough, except for the 2 guards that were stationed on the 2 9 ships, everybody else seems to be going, and you don't see any sign of Nerth. You don't see any sign of alert.
Okay, so she would, as she's leaving, just look back at Nerdberg or whatever his name is. I have one last question. Seeing that you are a mage of some sort, is there a way that you could make us warm enough that being in that water wouldn't be an issue?
Let me see what I can do. He starts flipping through a spell book, which Warren, you'd get the sense that obviously this guy is a wizard, a studied caster, and he is flipping through. I can do this, and he's going through greater invisibility, detect magic. Does not appear that I have anything that can prevent you from the cold, or else I would have cast it on myself. I hate this frigid place.
It's an idea.
Do you have any of the, what are they called, Remmerhaz legs left? I think you guys ate them all, eh?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because those gave you cold resistance, but those would have worn off by now, the ones that you ate.
Yeah, and then, well, on the boat, we have that stuff that we...
Yeah, the big kind of like wing thing that it has.
But that would be on the boat.
Interestingly enough, though, Sunlit, you notice that you don't quite feel cold at all anymore. And you would look down and see that parts of your fur are actually starting to turn a little bit white. You didn't realize it at first because you just, your perpetual hate for this place kind of outweighs your senses. Yeah. But now that you stop and like look around, you notice that you're not like shivering. Your limbs aren't numb anymore.
What is happening to me, wizard? And she would point it out.
What do you mean? And you would realize in terms of meta knowledge that you now have cold resistance.
I don't feel cold like I used to here. I also come from a very tropical place. So, does that make any sense to you?
You're asking Neil Ron?
I think I'm just asking that generally. So,
anyone can give. Actually, no, Ron will say it might have something to do with that talisman on your back.
Oh, very cool.
In the grand scheme of things, too, if anyone wants a short rest, I'm going to say enough time has definitely passed that you guys could have short rested.
Oh, you're my man.
I'll look after you guys. If you guys are going to suicide, I want you to at least be at full health. Maybe not full spell slots now that I think about it. Someone spamming Misty Step might be thinking what he's going to do at this point.
Got a little bit left. Not much, but a little.
So, yeah. What's your plan? As you step outside, I'm going to say that you get dressed and all that. Everyone's rested just to get things moving down. You look out. You only see... You can't even believe your luck. It's like almost like some things like it always just seems to work for you guys, but now it seems that all the giants have went in. The sun is starting to set, and only 2 giants and a large adult white dragon seem to be the living entities out in this frigid wasteland.
Wonderful. And they're on that ship, aren't they?
Negative. The 2 frost giants are basically standing on the 2 separate long ships.
Those are the ones that were arguing with each other earlier?
Yeah, those are the ones that were playing basically like snow tag or whatever, or baseball.
Very funny. Here is my plan. Are you ready for this? Listen closely, or trust me. We climb into the water because you don't mind the cold now. I'll ride upon your back and we'll swim to the ship, right? And then we will climb up the side of it. I can handle the talking to the dragon. Most important part is to let me ride upon your back to the ship.
See, but the whole thing is this: is I don't like water there, Warndell. You know,
It'll be okay. Just climb down into there and we can do it. Yeah, I don't have anything to help keep warm. I mean, am I able to just swim over, or is it just way too cold for that?
You know that jumping in that water without any kind of help, I don't know what you have for spells or like tricks up your sleeve, but definitely jumping into that water is going to be some checks to not get instant hypothermia. In terms of what you could do, you could probably get on one of the Giant's great ships and then jump over onto the Krigvin. They're like kind of, it's pretty tight in there.
Okay.
Trying to think of, I don't know if you got anything.
What is? Oh, it's the tunnel. Right. I was thinking that was a bridge over there where the number 8 is, but
yeah, that's the tunnel.
That's the underwater tunnel.
So okay, so obviously not knowing this completely, but as player knowledge, you know, if we were to go in that tunnel, would we be right where the ship is? Or is that the thought process at least?
Your thought process from what he's told you is that the tunnel will lead you up and out into the innards of this fortress. So basically, you don't know where you're going to pop up in the middle of this circle. I don't know what you actually call this thing other than a donut, but you'll end up in the center of the donut.
Yeah, of the bay per se.
I say we just go to the ships and then jump across. I can be quiet too.
Good.
I don't want to swim if I don't have to, and if I can ride upon your back, then
no, that's a terrible idea, the Warndell.
I didn't think so.
And she kind of looks out, does a back and forth real quick look, and goes, "All right, well, let's make our way." And she starts, she's bringing a talisman with her, so.
All right. So if a straight up stealth, like just stealthing onto the great ship and then jumping over is, what you'll need to give me is a stealth check to see if you make it onto the Giant's long ship or great ship.
I have rolled great already, so this can't do anything but bad. Oh, that's not too bad.
Let me see here.
Come on, Rondo.
Yeah, I don't have anything that's going to help me with that, so I will just roll. Let me see. Stealth.
I will remind you as we're talking.
Or not.
Yeah, that's a pretty good stealth roll.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I must have stepped on your tail and made you screech.
Yes, because of course it would be me, Warndell, because I never could do it.
So, as you're sneaking down perfectly like a wild snow panther seeking its prey, not a noise is made, not a bit of snow is disturbed, as you quickly make your way to the edge or the front of this great ship, and you're basically on the embankment, and you see this large wooden plank flopped over so that the Giants could climb out onto the embankment, and you're basically like pressed up against that embankment, looking up, and you see one of the frost giants towering above, just basically standing around bored, speaking in Giant. Neither one of you speak Giant, right?
I speak Giant.
Oh, you do. Why do I keep forgetting that? You hear them talking about how hungry they are, and it's bullshit that they have to stand guard while everybody else gets to eat, and they better hurry up. And as you're just quietly ducked down in like predator mode, you just hear the sound of like Warndell cursing and then rolling down the embankment, and just poof, a big plume of snow kind of pops up, to which you hear, and the Giant like begins to like look over and go to see what obviously caused that noise. Warndell, you are forced to make the decision of either standing there and inevitably being caught or jumping into the water right now.
Warndell stand up, dust himself off, cursing. Goddamn snow. Bullshit. What you couldn't ride upon the cat. Oh, hello. Your friend Norberg sent me, or whatever his name is, to tell you that the dinner is served or something.
The Giant like peeks over the deck.
You don't speak Giant, so he does that.
Looking at you like super curious. says something in giant to the other giant, and then picks up his great axe.
I'll just wave over to the side, be like, I don't wait. Do we want to fight? Fight? I don't really want to have time for that fighting right now. But if we must fight, we can fight. But I was just going to invite you to dinner. You can see he's trying to kind of wave you forward, though, Sonny.
The giant jumps from the boat right over you, Sonny. Huge plume of snow comes up, basically like momentarily burying Warndell. He kind of like flicks off the snow on his head as he's standing there trying to talk his way out of this giant. And you just see this giant like just angry, like, who let this, and speaking in giant, who let this small folk scum into our base? He doesn't look like one of the barbarians, and he's just kind of like speaking in giant. You hear the other one starting to like make its way over. He's going to grapple check you, Warndell. He's gonna try. He's gonna try to straight up just grab you. You got to beat an 18 if you're trying to resist.
With
Dex or strength, your call. Obviously,
Dex, because that's about the only thing. Yeah, I'll try to wiggle real quick. Yeah.
Oh.
He picks you up and gives you a squeeze. You hear your like bones start to like creak and squish a bit as he lifts you up in front of you, and just in giant, you hear him say, Sunlit, who are you? Speak or I'll pop your head off.
I have no clue what he's saying, so.
What is Sunlit doing as Warndell is clearly in trouble, and the other one is starting to make its way over, but obviously no intention is dropped on you.
Yeah.
If you happen to look at me, I'd be waving you forward or trying to tell you to not worry about me.
How far away is that ship from me?
The ship from you is about a total of, let me see if I can math this out here. I got to zoom in a bit. Each square is 20. Still pretty far, because in the grand scheme of things, this map is actually massive in terms of its giant size. So I'm going to say that at best, I'm going to give you 120 feet away from the ship. And that's probably being generous.
Well, your generosity is within my movement.
There we go.
Because I could.
You're the incredible Flash Cat.
Yes, I'm the Flash Cat. So, all right. How far? I'm just trying to think. How far does she think she has to do to? Because I'll just release the fucking dragon and deal with it afterwards.
Yeah, I'll give you 120.
To be able to do that.
Yep.
Because it would have been great to have a conversation with it before I released it, but I just have to release it to help my friend. That might be the thing I have to do.
All right, so you're just using your abilities to. I'm assuming you got to do something to move that quick. So you just.
Yeah. I have that ability that makes it so I double on the movement. So, so I can get 120 feet.
All right, so you bolt it over and you jump on the ship. Give me a stealth check, actually, because or are you just abandoning stealth at this point and running for the ship? Stealth. All right, so with lightning quick speed, you jump up onto the ship, you bolt across, and then fling yourself with your momentum over, and you land in front of the dragon. To which stealthing from it is going to be pretty hard because you like literally
trying to do that.
Yeah, it lifts its head up momentarily and like stares at you.
Yeah, and I throw the gem that I took.
Mm-hmm.
And let me look at one thing real quick. Yeah, what am I doing? Looking for. All right. Because I feel that they would have had to be able to communicate to this. In giant, I say to it, we were there. The giants have slain your sister. There's no other way I could have this off of her head. And her final wish was for us to release you. Join us in getting away from here, and we'll all escape.
He whispers, "Free me."
Are you going to kill me immediately?
And at that point, we'll jump over to Octavius and Livy. What are you guys doing? I'm going to say that for the grand scheme of things, you actually, yeah. So what are you guys doing? I'm going to say that this assumingly happened at around the same time, unless you guys say otherwise. Did you want to like fully wait for them to go and obviously waste more time? Obviously trying to ignore the fact that you already know what's going on meta-wise. Did you guys think that you were going to move at the same time or wait?
I figured.
I thought we would be moving it.
Yeah.
Livy?
All right. So with that being said, it's going to be your path is a bit easier. So group stealth check from everybody. And as long as the averages weigh out, you guys make it pretty much unobstructed. So let's see how that goes. Although I could just realize that the moral conundrum that's going to happen if you guys don't make your stealth check, because then we're going to alter the timeline. See what happens.
Roll 12, no mods.
All right. What did Livy roll for stealth?
It was a 16 there, so with +3 for 19.
All right. In the grand scheme of things, already he made it, so I think that already puts us at the higher average. So yeah, you guys make it across, luckily, or my storyline would have been fucked anyways. So you guys stealth across. As you look behind, you see Livy and Warrendale starting to do their same thing, and you guys make it to the dry dock, to which you start climbing up this 30-foot long, kind of like arcing up one way and zigzagging upwards, the staircase that leads up to the dry docks, to which as you peek in, you see now Octavius that it is filled with barbarians or like tribal looking people. They have big, like, actually what you realize they're wearing is like they have these white fur coats that look very similar to the Crag Cats that you guys seen before in the Icewind Dales, the thing that Sunlight has an interest in. They're wearing these big white, like tiger-like fur coats all around them to keep warm. They have like black paints all over their face, and they have like they're just sitting at their tents with like low fires and eating fish. They don't seem to notice you guys coming.
Octavius would look to Livy, and he would just have this stern glare on his face, like he was prepared to do this. And he'd kind of nod to her, and he would start moving forward. Wouldn't necessarily expect her to be with him, but he would just start moving forward into the groups of fires, and he would look for someone out of the ordinary, someone who looked like they were higher than anybody else, or even this woman that the wife of the leader of the tribe who died. But lacking that, he would he be able to see anything like that? Anybody like that?
Oh, sorry, I'm on mute. So give me a perception check as you're walking through.
16 plus what is perception? Wisdom?
Yep. So plus 3.
I feel like Livy would be doing this too.
Yeah, so 9.
Would help point out if she notices anything.
Yep. So you guys walk through, and obviously as you're doing so, you start to pull the attention of people. The barbarians start to look up at you. They're obviously curious about your sudden presence. And as you're walking through and you're looking for someone that would look like a big, fearless kind of leader, remembering that she is a woman, you suddenly feel a presence kind of like stand up behind you. And as you look behind you, you see this woman with an absolutely massive Crag Cat coat that's just this glistening white. It has stains of red kind of on the shoulders of it, though. She's redheaded like much of the barbarians. She has this big black kind of like war paint across her entire temple, going across her eyes to almost make it look like she's wearing a mask. And she stands before you, standing at about 6'2", very muscular looking woman. Half of her hair on the left-hand side is kind of long and sways down in front of her face, but the other half of her head is basically shaved. And she stands, as you turn around, she's basically face to face with you, Livy.
I'd like to do an intelligence check, history check, to see if she might have like read about these people. Because if she has, she's totally going to try and do like a proper greeting. So,
all right, give me a check.
Tell me now, 12.
12. So you would have at least heard of these barbarians. They're basically a sub-tribe of what are called the Ragged Barbarians that live in the Icewind Dales. They're generally known for being pretty like savage fighters, although there was a tribe called the Elk Tribe, which managed to befriend some of the 10 towns after many battles and wars between themselves. They eventually teamed up to defeat a greater evil, and the Elk Tribe kind of basically started to be a little bit more civilized than the other tribes. The Tiger Tribe itself, with a 12, you don't necessarily know a whole lot about, and a proper greeting would not be coming to you, but you would know that since the kind of colonizing of these tribes, that luckily for you, a lot of them speak common now, whereas before they spoke their own kind of barbarian language. This towering woman, I don't know how tall Livy is, but this woman stands 6'2". She has this giant great axe that she suddenly slings on her shoulders as the kids and other barbarians, even the men, kind of like back off and let this woman take the lead. She has these trinkets and bones kind of all around her, and like fur pelt kind of wrapped around her as a belt. Definitely looking very much like a barbarian, and she stands before you and just sniffs you.
And Livy will do her best to cast square her shoulders, like,
you reek of city folk. Damn it, no wrong accent.
That's yes.
Why has city folk come to Tiger Tribe?
And they'll be kind of like that moment of just nervous, kind of like Octavius before, just, you got this.
You knew slaves to giants?
No, we here to help you not be slave, get you out.
You help me not be slave. You are puny woman. What you do against giants? I could snap you in two with my hands.
Yes, you just might be able to do that, but and she will like point to the blood marks and whatnot that are crusted on her clothes and be like, giants did this to me. I still stand.
What plan city folk have?
Octavius would step forward, and he'd be like, great leader, we have heard about the troubles that you've had with your chieftain being defeated. We're here to help you.
She suddenly, almost unexpectedly, swings her axe right at your throat and then stops seconds away from your throat with like intensity, power, speed that you did not expect. It literally like just comes enough to cut your neck just a sliver. And she looks into your face and says, you do not speak of my husband. You do not speak of King Karod. You do not know that man.
Even Octavius wouldn't have even flinched. Well, our plan is any second now the dragon that leads the giant's ship should be released. When that happens, our plan is to take you and hopefully get out of this place so that we may escape.
Why?
Fight another day.
You help Tiger Tribe. You are city folk. What gain you have for helping us barbarians?
Protection in numbers.
We will be stronger together.
You fight well, puny man.
I fight the best with my friends.
She walks up to you, Octavius, now, puts the axe down a little bit, gets right up into your face, and gives you... You smell like weakling.
I assure you, he's the man who cannot die. And I imagine he looks pretty worse for wear as well. Just like...
Octavius probably has like a shitload of scars on him alone, just from like what his practices of praying, I'm assuming, Octavius.
Yeah. Octavius would lean forward and he'd... You smell like you haven't had a good fight in a while. Maybe you should waste it on the giants and not me.
She laughs. That is true. You would not be a very good fight for me, Bjornhild, Solveig's daughter. I am the chieftain now of my tribe. My husband, slain by the very giants that enslave us. Tell me why you puny city folk, you fragile-looking men and women, think you have chance against frost giants.
Because when you don't try, you have no chance. At least we're trying.
We fight the giants head on.
No, we escape for now. Regroup and think about how to attack.
They have big ship.
I
How
don't
do
know.
we escape their frozen island?
Like one of those...
We have a ship. We have a skull. Is that what it's called?
You have a punt.
We have a punch. We're ready to go.
I don't know if you know this outside of game, Octavius, but you would know that your punt is pretty much at capacity with your 8 party members. I don't know if you're just leaving that out on purpose, or if you just yeah. With Harshnag and then the rest of you, it's basically like a giant canoe, right? So it can hold about 2 to 3 giants, maybe 2. Probably not even 3, probably 2 giants. So with you and then Harshnag in the gang, like you can maybe cram a couple more on, but this tribe, as you look around, you see that they're almost like 20 strong. Now, it's not to say that there's not more punts, but I'm not sure if you're just purposely leaving that out or if you just didn't know.
No, I didn't know. Octavius looked at Livy for help at that point, kind of missing out on what facts you might need to pull this off.
Yeah, so give me, if either one of you want to give me a insight or intelligence check, you can go ahead and do so, and I can tell you something.
That 20 on an intelligence check.
Nice. So you will remember, Octavius, with that there was more punts, obviously, at the dock that originally Cyric and Barrick were hiding in. So you would presume that there's enough punts to get everyone on board.
Just from where we're at right now, I think that through conversation with Livy, I'd figure that out because I'd need help to remember, obviously.
Yeah. So,
like, Livy, what do you think a good escape plan is?
Well, they got that dragon going. I imagine we'll hear that first. Other than that, it would be...
Do you remember any more ships at the dock?
Oh, yeah. When we were sneaking in, and blah, 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 blah. Let's do it straight. Where's my insight? There it is. That shows up. Nate. And she's like, but they all seem bigger than what I don't know. The ships they usually have subsidiary ships, right?
Okay.
Or boats.
Just relay that information to the chieftain and say that there were more punts at the dock to get you out. Just follow us.
Okay,
We have taken the flag that helps the boat go fast, and we're releasing the dragon from their boat.
All right. So the moral of the story then, because obviously you're not going to have to relay everything that we already talked about, but are you telling them that they're running to the docks and we're just straight up fleeing, or are you going with the plan to destroy the Krigvin and then flee?
We're going to flee and take down
Yep.
as many giants in the process.
No, the Krigman's gotta go. I'm not telling
I
you
thought
what
we were
Krigman
taking
had.
down the Krigman.
Yeah, so just so we don't have to go through the whole conversation that you just had with the other NPC, we'll say that you tell them that you want to strike down their big ship, and then from that point try to outrun them. Give me a persuasion check at advantage, whoever wants to take it, since you're both talking to them, and we'll see how that goes.
+1 to it.
You go for it.
All right. Woo!
Nat
Hey, would you look at that?
20.
Let me nat 20. Probably whipped out a great story analogy, and it's like, this is what we're doing. Why are you going to help us? Because venture and glory.
If you will help us live to fight another day, help the Tiger tribe survive, so that we can get our vengeance on these giants that killed our king, then I will help you. And as will my tribe.
And she'll do her best to do kind of like the most honorable, like, you have my word. Absolutely.
She would come in again and basically give you like a bro handshake, like really kind of like manly, grab onto your arm, pull you in really tight, and like really squeeze. And then
She's going to use that charisma check just for everything. I'm like, I'm not going to squeak.
Yeah. She leans in and she says, if there's one thing I've learned about city folks' words, is that it's usually meant to protect themselves. If you think that my tribe will be your meat shields and you betray us, I will make sure that I kill you before you leave.
Understandable.
And I am good at killing puny city folk.
I have no doubt.
She lets go of you. All right.
She takes a deep breath.
Sunlit, you ask the dragon, what would you ask again? If it will help you, or sorry, I'm gonna backtrack here. This is on to Sunlit, who's on mute.
No, I asked if it's going to attack me.
Says, free me now, or I'll eat you where you stand.
Well, I don't plan on being dragon food today. So, again, your sister's dying wish, which we can take you to her.
Free me.
And she very sternly looks at the dragon and says the target word. Unfettered.
As you say that, you hear the shackles around its neck just kind of thunk, and then sink to the ground, and with a thud, it hits. It picks itself up on one leg, and then it picks itself up on the other leg,
And
keeping its wings in tight, and it gets like right in your face and kind of gives you a big, long exhale of its nostrils, and you see frost just kind of come out of its nose and almost like freeze the whiskers on your face as this ginormous dragon is just right up against you.
Yeah, and I, much like a dog when you don't want to show weakness to it, I hold my ground and I look at it. I look at we're nose to nose per se or whatever, and I go, I promise to you, and I would know the dragon's name. Sorry, I don't personally.
Mm-hmm.
Your sister was very honorable. She fought valiantly and killed a handful of these vile creatures. Her dying wish was for you to...
As you're talking, the dragon just lunges with terrible like speed and ferocity, cutting you off, not listening to you at all, and it's going to just fly over the board and bite at the frost giant that's squeezing the shit out of Warrendale.
I'm
But-
just pointing over its shoulder at the dragon that's coming.
Yeah, you're just saying something about it coming, and it doesn't believe you. It's going to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Give me one more dex save though to see if you get out, as this thing is going to, before we get into it, try to give you a good squish since some time has passed. 9.
Rolling great.
That's off to a good start. Well, who needs health anyways to start a fight off with? Let's see what the giant rolls. Maybe you'll get lucky. It rolled a nat 20.
Of course.
So it squeezes you, my good friend, for, let me roll this here, get my dice. Ugh. Probably gonna feel good. It's pretty low. 19 crushing damage.
Well, he has 5 temporary hit points for some reason.
That's true.
Not no more.
Yeah. That's really 14. Straight to your life total.
As he just tries to squeeze you, and like you start to feel your head getting tight and your bones cracking, to which suddenly the dragon just lunges over as you're like trying to like point and get its attention and feel the blood kind of like getting to your brain, and you start to black out, and then the dragon just chomps on the side of this frost giant's face and almost like swallows it momentarily and rips at him, absolutely doing a tremendous amount of damage, to which point you guys can roll initiative. And I will get that in there. There's 1. There's 2. Where's the number 2? And then let me find Cryovane. And then let me do the damage that Cryovane did, because he definitely hit. So Cryovane bit for why is it partially resisted? Does it do? Oh, it does cold damage. It does a bunch of damage, but some of it's cold damage, so it resists it. But it looks like a pretty sizable bite. Sunlit, you're in the initiative. Warndell, you're in the initiative.
Yeah, I rolled. Yep.
All right. So then that puts Sunlit up first, then Warndell, then the dragon and giant and friends. As I will actually put the initiative tracker where it should be. What do you do, Sunlit? As you see this dragon, momentarily you swear that it's about to eat you alive, and then with like lightning speed, it just rips over the side of the boat and bites into one of the frost giants. It yells out in pain. The other frost giant yells out in surprise. Shit is starting to hit the fan.
All right, so but I rolled 2 really high stealth rolls.
They don't know you're there yet.
Yeah. You know, obviously something had to have released it, but they don't know what did. All right, so this boat is just stupid large, isn't it?
Yep, definitely.
All right, I would like to. So use that last round. I would like to look about the boat some.
Okay.
But not move. Just kind of do a scan, do a cursory scan of where I am.
Okay.
Is there anything that looks like a lot of cloth?
Cloth? So the boat itself, you're on the main level, right? I guess I should explain to you. And it basically has pulled in right now a shit ton of oars. On each side, it uses 7 oars that they have kind of pulled in and folded up along the side of the boat. On the front and the back, you see 2 or a total of 4 enormous ballistas mounted on each side. So a total of 4, 2 on each side, front and back. And other than that, you see a giant mast in the center and then stairs leading down. But on the main deck, you don't conveniently see a bunch of cloth everywhere.
Yeah. Are they loaded?
Yeah, they most certainly are.
Wonderful. And okay, from where I'm standing right now, how far is the sail?
The sail from where you are standing, of course, my actual measuring tool is not wanting to work. I think I gotta put a grid on here. Let me put a grid on. Set grid. Yeah, so there we go. And then stop it right now.
Because I need to take a turn out now because that was one turn in theory. All of that happening, right?
The sail from you to the dragon is 70 feet.
Okay, I'm not worried about the dragon. The dragon is dealing with.
Or not? Sorry, where the dragon was. So you're 70 feet away from the sail.
Okay.
Moral of the story.
So all right. So I'm going to tell you what my plan is.
Yes, sir.
I have 10 torches on me.
Okay.
And I'm going to start lighting those things like it's my job.
All right.
I'm going
Then
to start throwing them. I'm going to throw a couple of them at that sail. Is what the hope is
now, inconveniently for you, the sail is obviously rolled up and very high up. So I don't know what kind of sail or what kind of range you have, but in terms of how high up the sails are, is another 120 feet rolled up.
I can climb and have climb skills.
Yes, sir. That is definitely a very good idea, but I don't see you throwing a torch 120 feet. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but
no, I can imagine not.
So you can spend your action to move. I don't know how far you can move, but you can move 70 feet to the mast and then start climbing up it. I know you move quickly, so I don't know how many times you can do that, but
I want to not move at all, so that I can have my fancy movement back.
Okay, so
I have to move 0 before I can do it again.
Gotcha. So you stand, and what do you want to do? Any actions or bonus actions?
I am going to I haven't done an action. I'm going to ready. Well, you can't really ready a check.
You can ready attack for when one of the giants kind of like inevitably the other giant runs by. You can blast it with one of your key strikes if you want.
Yeah, no, because I don't want him to. I don't want to blow my cover because I'm going to try to burn his boat down.
All right, so then just head on out.
I'm going to hide behind something. If I could roll stealth to do that.
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Maybe even just the locking mechanism or whatever. That's probably big enough to.
Give me a stealth check and let's see how it goes.
Yeah, but I don't want to move physically.
Yep, that's cool. The chains, obviously, to hold the dragon are pretty sizable, so you can kind of like tuck yourself in the chain.
Oh, that's good again.
And you do so. All right. As you're hiding, recharging your super movement, Warndell, you're up next. As you were momentarily... Actually, let's see if the giant lets go of you. Because we'll be cool like that and potentially ruin it. So, con save. Giant lets go of you. Or no, sorry, he doesn't. I didn't realize his massive modifier. You're still in the giant's hand.
That's okay. I wanted to be. So being that he has a hold of me, blue sparks kind of course up my body. My hair frazzles out a little bit. Normally, shocking grasp is a touch thing. I'm just going to let this discharge. I mean, he has a hold of me, so through my body.
Okay. So.
Is he wearing metal?
Well, that was my next question. I didn't know if he had like chainmail or something.
Patchwork armor is what it says. I don't know what the hell that is, but
any clue either.
Sounds like there's a chance. So roll me a Arcana check to see how powerful your surge goes through, and if there is any metal trinkets on his body, then maybe it will. Yeah, we'll say that there's some metal. I don't know what you need it for, but there's little chunks of metal. Kind of like frost giants are known for like defeating their enemies and then taking trinkets or like weapons and stuff or other things and basically making armor out of it. So there's like little pieces of metal or whatnot on them.
Okay, gives me advantage. All right.
Definitely a hit.
And I am going to use a point of my meta magic to re-roll that because that was really shitty.
Yep.
That's better.
So a total of 13 damage.
And if anything metal, what does that do? It does something.
It gives me advantage.
Okay,
so you got the advantage. All right. So the giant is absolutely just shocked and just jolted as this powerful blue electronic energy shoots out from you, zapping into him.
And it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn, if that matters.
All right. Cool. At which point he does loosen his grip on you with a nat 1 if you do want to like slip out and fall to the ground.
can I like try to climb across them, like hang on to them?
You have movement, so you can, but it's going to be.
I just don't want to like fall, then take falling damage.
Yeah, no, it's not enough of a fall.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'll just drop.
Okay, you just slid onto his hand and kind of just whoop, drop down into the snow. Now in front of this towering giant. We're gonna say that Octavios and the gang hear the sudden commotion before the giants have their turn up. What do you guys do now that you have the alliance of the Tiger Tribe, and you hear the roar and growl of a dragon and then the yells of giant? To which Octavios, you would hear spoken in giant that the dragon is free.
I'd look to Livy, and are you ready?
Crossbow. How's that gonna be?
You would look to the word, Chief. That is our sign. We should go and help.
All right. Bjornhild takes a moment to stand in front of her tribe. She calls out, saying that the frost giants took their king, but the queen still rules proud, and we shall bring the blood of frost giants in King Corald's name. She holds her axe up, to which a bunch of them kind of shout. And are you just telling them to charge? Because they'll start charging out if that's what the game plan is.
I'll lead the charge.
All right, you charge out, to which Bjornhild charges out with you. Roll initiative, everybody. And I'll get. This is going to be a fight. I don't know how I didn't see it going this way, but this is going to be a fight.
12.
All right. Okay, so there's 17
with modifiers in.
What's that? Sorry, 16 with modifiers.
Just the 16.
Okay. Give me a second to get the North folk in, or the Tiger Tribe in. Gotta change their name.
So wouldn't that be a 15 for him? Because you have a -1 dex.
Yep. Yeah, that would be. Thank you.
That's what
I think I wrote down the wrong thing. That's why he said that. Okay. And let me just add that really quickly. 11 times that. All right. That's interesting. And make sure I have everybody else in. Boom. I'll show everybody so that you guys can see it on the initiative tracker. And both giants in, Cryovane in, Frost Giant 2 in, everybody's in. All right.
All right, so is Roshan and them still in this?
Broshin and them not in this. Sorry, ignore them. I just didn't delete them with the tracker.
Yeah.
Get out of there, Broshin. Get out of there. Nurse. All right. So leaving that up next after Warrendale is Belladora, who is going to run out and spend her time getting in range. Even at full run, she basically puts herself in range next turn to strike with her crossbow, since it's a pretty decent run. Which point the frost giant that has you just recently dropped is going to spin around and try to attack Cryovane. He's going to take 2 quick swings at him. What the fuck? And the first one, being a 13, is a miss. And the second one, as he swings his axe over the dragon's head, comes down again and misses both attacks. That is really convenient. Octavios, you're charging. Bjornhild by your side. I'm going to say that you spent your first turn kind of moving the distance. So you're still about a full dash away from being back into combat. But if you want to stay at range, you might be able to get something else off.
Yeah, I'll stay at range. And I'm not sure, Chris. I think it's Bless that I can use within 30 feet of me and bless anybody within 30 feet of me.
Okay, let me check it out. Bless is 30 feet range. You're correct.
I'll use that on the warriors with Mabry and whoever else I can entrap with that.
So you can get you, Livy, and Bjornhild are the two most noticeable people with you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yep. Okay. So bless. I'm gonna add a bless to Livy so that she doesn't have to remember that.
Thank you.
So when you roll, you should have that on. Octavios, I'm not going to put it on you because that doesn't matter. So you have to remember yourself. But everybody else has it on. Anything else you want to do, Octavios, as you charge in with these barbarians running and just hollering, ready for a great battle? Livy, you're now up. As you're running, next, Bjornhild just ahead of you. Octavios stops momentarily, does a prayer to Ilmater. You feel his blessing come upon you.
I'm going to say at that moment, too, like, she's not even necessarily paying attention to what he's doing because as she comes up to where they are, and as soon as she sees one of the giants there, she's stopping and just kind of, all right, here we go, aiming, and then she'll feel that warmth, just like, this feels right, and this the spell of blessing being upon her, and so she's going to shoot off. No, wrong die, Mary. Nope. Right, correct die. Good job. Fire. Ooh, cool. And so 20 and 21 to hit.
Definitely going to do so. You can attack the one that is about to attack, or that's fighting near Warrendale, or the other one that's further away.
The one near Warrendale, because clearly looks more threatening. With a grand total of 13 points.
13 points of damage on top of him. All right, very nice. All right, so you pull out a fire arrow and it flies across, landing into the back of this giant as he yells out in pain. You hear it kind of like burning his skin away. Next up, unless you have anything else planned.
Nope.
All right, is our boy Cryovane. And having
never rolled less than 20.
Yeah. Mary's streak continues since she's gotten Maiden's Garden. She hasn't rolled less than 20.
I'm okay with this. If I didn't have the blessing, it would have been under 20.
No, but nonetheless, you still roll less than 20.
All right. Here we go. Bite attack into the giant. Hit. And then a claw attack. Which is going to be a hit. And then another claw attack, which is going to be a hit. So here comes some damage on him. As he's just absolutely furious having his wife be finally slain by these giants. In his mind, he is just tearing into this giant. And
is that his sister?
Yes, it is his sister. What did I say?
You said his wife.
Yeah, dragons are weird, actually.
Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, I haven't actually fully said it yet, but yeah, these dragons are weird.
Yeah, well, that's all good.
And they, with that, as the giant was obviously not suspecting this assault, has been bloodied within a matter of seconds. As the dragon finishes its third attack, its back is like completely ripped open. Part of his face is like you can see inside his mouth through his cheeks from where the giant bit. At which point we have a whole bunch of NPCs to go really quickly. Sirik, being behind, is going to spend his turn running. The tribe, which it jumped over, there is a total of 17 of them. I got to pull up a handy dandy rule really quickly that I said I would not lose, but I did. Handling mobs, so they need to roll. All right. They are going to, with their spears, actually they have spears, sorry, they don't have any range. They're going to full on dash towards the other giant that is not on you. And that's what they're going to do, spend their turn dashing towards him. To which this giant, obviously, seeing the assault and seeing the dragons freed, is actually going to start turning tail and heading towards the western building where you've seen a bunch of the giants retreat to. And he's going to just full on run with his 30 or 40 feet of movement and then turn around and chuck a giant rock at the barbarians who are charging towards him. And hitting, definitely, and killing a total of 2 barbarians with the massive boulder. Next up is top of the initiative. Tell me it's another NPC. It is. Bjornhild, she is charging. She's going to make it up to the giant number 2 now that she's been full on running, and is going to give it a swing. Does she have multi-attack? She does not. So she chunks into him with her giant great axe, furthering his wounds, basically cutting open his calf, to which finally, after an eternity of turns, Sunlit, you're now up as my army of NPCs that I just rolled did their stuff.
Beautiful.
To recap, because that was a lot, the one giant that was fucking up Warren is badly injured. The other one seems to be turning tail to go alert his friends.
Yep. I understand. Just look at one thing. Cool. So I got a really nice thing just to set things on fire now that I'm thinking about it. I could use my Syrian Arc Strike because I get my key points after having a short rest back. So yeah, that's so she's gonna look about the boat, and with blazing speed of 120 feet, and if I wanted to, I could actually, as a bonus action, use my dash a second time with a key point.
Yeah.
So that would be actually
you're moving at the speed of a jet, basically.
Yeah. I could move 240 feet. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So she's all right. She's looking for something that would be flammable to start this boat on fire. You know what I mean? And even going within the boat itself to see if.
Give me a perception check as you're just like flying around the boat trying to see what you can.
Yeah, like the freaking Flash. All right, come on, don't fuck me now with our game. You're probably gonna, so we're gonna see how this works. Don't screw me now.
Nice. So you see, obviously, the most prominent thing is definitely the sail, which is up high. That would looks like it would go on under flame if you were to blast it a couple times. Below deck, it seems like they have a bunch of wares and whatnot. As you're going through with a natural 20, I'm going to say that you find a shit ton of casks of alcohol.
Okay.
Just kind of ironic because you are running through, and what makes you actually realize it is the smell. So it's that old familiar smell of something that you were quite frequent with a long time ago.
And it disgusts her. Okay, so did I have to use a key point to be able to move that much? Or did I not? Was 120 feet enough?
So from where you were, because I actually do have something going on here downstairs. Well, downstairs, just to get down the stairs is 120 feet, and then so yeah, you'll probably have to move the full like super speed to.
And that's fine. So she's gonna get to where the alcohol is, and again to kind of give plan. I'm actually not going to use the torch. Well, actually, maybe I will use the torch idea. Now I think about it, because I might have to fight. She will be getting out a tinderbox and her torch.
Okay.
That she plans on throwing into the large pile of gross liquid that she hates at this point.
Right.
Because she, it's flipped on her completely with that. And she actually takes the tankard of sobriety and throws that into the pile of that crap as well.
Got you.
So she's got her tinderbox and her torch. I'm not gonna do it right now because I wanna not move again next turn so I can get the hell out of there. Yeah, and then yeah, so and that's gonna be the thing. So her hope is that she's gonna light that on fire and the ship will immolate from the inside out.
Gotcha. Warrendale, you're up next as a crossbolt flies across from Sir Beric as he yells, "Justice for Tyr!" and sinks into the giant. You now have the giant in front of you. You just see big pools of blood dripping down from its stomach. He's all ripped to shit and looks like he is pretty close to death, actually.
Hit the snow with a big poof. You can see how the snow kind of gather up around me. Warren's going to stand up, his clothes billow out a little bit. Just going to do I guess, firebolt at this guy and move. So the catching the fireball will make me move back to 10 feet and then move from there. But here's the firebolt roll.
Definitely a hit.
Or a fireball.
Bolt.
Okay. Those are two very different spells.
Oh, geez. Oh, that's a natural 20. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's
What does it look like when you finish him off?
Just this red splatter of mist as his head explodes across, covering this beautiful white dragon in a red sheen. And yeah, otherwise I'm just moving as far away as whatever safety reason I can find. Maybe if I can see Livy or somebody moving in their direction.
Yeah, so you see Livy and Octavios basically like in the mix of a small horde of barbarians. Livy, you see one of her bolts kind of flying by from Maiden's Garden. You see Octavios casting spells, blessing everybody. They're from you, probably about 60 feet away. You can head in that general direction, though.
Yeah, wherever I can get to the most safety, basically. So,
all right.
Yeah, billow out and I get out of there.
Absolutely. And as that misty red mist kind of covers the dragon, it turns its head and looks and sees the other one halfway across, already almost at the fortress. Belladora kind of yells out, "Shit, the other one's getting away!" To which she kind of turns the other way, and she's going to manage to get a shot off at least. Belladora has just not been having much luck in terms of combat for the last couple of games. She's supposed to be like this badass giant fighter, and she just can't roll above 10. Octavios, you're now up as you see Warrendale just absolutely like evaporate a giant with his fiery bolt from his hand. You see the other one is basically at the front door of or like pretty close to it, the giant establishment that he's heading to, the Giant's Lodge. What do you wish to do? What time is it?
I think can I do a perception check to see if I see our two giant friends? Maybe they wandered off and like hid and or didn't want to be found. Maybe I could see them. Maybe like something like that.
Yeah, give it a perception check. Let's see what happens.
Well, I rolled a nat 17.
Nice.
Was that 20, I think?
Yep, that sounds about right to me. So, with that check, the basically you're at the dry dock, so there's that like narrow channel of water in between you and the next building across, which is where the boat flies through. And when I say narrow, I guess it's not really narrow in the grand scheme of things because it's giant size. So it's about a what is it, 20, 40, 50, 60 foot gap in between you and this next building. But as you look over, you see this absolutely large lodge, and looking out into the bay is what looks like a kind of balcony. And you see now through there, kind of looking out, is Nurth and Broshin.
If I yelled, would they be able to hear me?
They would definitely hear you on the account that they have come out to see what all the fuss is about. As you think to do that, you go to yell out, you see a giant also coming out from behind them. And this giant wears a crown of dragon bone. His beard is almost like below his waist. absolutely muscular and has this blue tone to him, and a scar across one of his eyes, and the other eye is like just a pitch white.
Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect.
And you see for the first time Jarl Strovad. What do you yell?
Octavius would look up from casting glass as he's continuing to run forward. He would see his two comrades, and he would start to yell before he sees. But he would have to continue yelling, and he yells. What are their names, real quick?
Nerth and Broshen.
Jarl Nerf, Jarl Broshen, the rebellion has started. Join us, my friends.
Okay. You yell that. You're not going to see what happens until they get into the fray. But, yeah. You want to do anything else on your turn?
I'm going to continue to run towards Warrendale, and that's about it.
Okay. Man, this just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, more and more convoluted. Oh, great.
Yeah. This is just going to be the most impressive. It's just going to be me fighting myself for the next while.
Don't worry. You'll set her aim.
All right, who's up next while I start getting more people? Yeah, so you're up next, Livy. Go ahead.
Yeah, she's going to set her aim on the Jarl. You're like, well, here goes nothing.
Oh, she's going for the Jarl. Interesting.
Wow, she rolled a 17.
I know, right? And
there's a 26.
There it is. Once more, pulling that fire flower and sending 18 points of fire damage.
All right, 18 points on the Jarl. An arrow comes. 2 arrows come quickly out as he steps out and
shoulder.
Ow! All right, where are my bros? No, I deleted them out. I knew I shouldn't have deleted them out of the fucking initiative tracker. All right.
Oh, sorry, I just thought it'd be hilarious.
Yep. Give me a second here. I gotta just get them in.
I'd say it was good thinking.
Frost. There we go. And get that guy in. This is Nurse. And where's the other one?
And Broham.
Where's my boy Broham?
It's Brosham, right? But I think it's called funny to call him Broham.
Yeah, Brosham right there.
Brosham.
All right, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, okay, come on.
All right, Livy's finishing hers. The dragon at this point is going to use its flight to go over, and this guy fucking moves so quickly that he can actually potentially make it. What we got here? He's right behind the other dragon, or the other giant that's trying to retreat back to the lodge, but he could do his cone attack, but he knows that it will have no effect on the giant. He's already tried this before. So he does not do anything. Next up is the Tiger Tribe, who was charging towards the giants that, or no, he was chasing after. So they're going to chase up and they're going to catch and land a couple of attacks on the giant that was running away with the giant or the dragon that's chasing after them. So they see them just start throwing themselves and like stabbing with their spears into this frost giant that's trying to make it to the lodge. To which point Cyric also gets an attack in. No, he's too far away. He just doesn't really look like he knows what to do in the fray of this. He's going to position himself to get over to the other giant. To which finally Jarl Strovad is up. He readies a horn that is basically a scrimshaw, so like whalebone or whatever carved into this thing, and it's in the shape of a horn. And he lifts it to his lips and gives a big boom, to which it just echoes out across. And then he is going to Hunter's Mark you, Livy. So
yeah, so
how
yeah,
joy.
That doesn't make any sense. Anyways,
what's that? Sorry,
I was just making fun of you. And yeah, because he wouldn't hunter mark the dragon. You know, I mean, he'll hunter mark the small folk.
Yeah, that's what he'll do.
3 does.
Of course.
And Livy, he
Yes.
will. I'm just trying to remember how Hunter's Mark works. It's just extra damage to you. Oh, it's just
Yeah,
like
it's
D6.
down.
All right.
D6.
Picks up a big old rock.
No! No! Not this again!
Livy's favorite, and is going to hug it.
I will. If I have an opportunity to use shield, she will be smart and use
All right.
shield.
I'll tell you what I roll. Natural 1. You don't even need to use shield.
Excellent. I'm glad that he's going to realize that shoulder he's about to throw the rock with is not feeling so good after that. Those bolts of fire.
Absolutely. That was just one of his attacks, though.
Ah, bugger.
But he can't cold attack. He can't throw 2 rocks. He can only double great axe. So I guess that leaves him not doing anything else. To which Broshin is up next. He is going to look at you, Octavius, who's calling out, "Now's the time to rebellion." To which he just gives the Jarl like a shrug, like he doesn't know who the hell you are. Just like, oh, he's not saying Broshin, he's saying something else. And is going to, in the presence of the Jarl, be a bitch and lean over and get ready to fight you instead. He is not going to rock attack, though. He's going to jump down and start attacking some of the barbarians. Y'all missed that opportunity. And he hits the barbarians. Just like, I don't know this guy. Death to the traitors. And just plows into a bunch of barbarians, to which we're back at the top of the initiative. Bjorn Hild is going to charge over and start fighting Broshin, to which Sunlit, you can start doing your attack while I deal with that.
All right. I would like to. This is a I don't know. Everything's massive dust in here.
Yes.
This is a massive pile of alcohol.
In terms of the alcohol itself, it is basically looted from people of your size, but there's a massive quantity of it.
Yeah. All right. So rather than using that spell, because it's a spell in theory, if she was just to throw a torch in the middle of it, it would ignite that.
Yeah, you would presume that you'd have to kind of crack open a bit and get it to at least. It would work quicker to get some on the ground or whatever, and traditionally lit it up and cause that flame path. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to wait for your torch to burn into the casket, and then eventually.
Well, then okay. So what she'll do is, if you'll let me do this with one action in theory, is that she'll take a cask and smash it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To do just as that.
So give an attack on the cask to see if you hit it, and then break it.
All right. I'm just gonna. Yeah.
Just punch it whatever. It's obviously a cast. It shouldn't be that big of a deal to break it.
Yeah. If I can't hit a cast.
That's where the nat ones come in, though.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, here. No, we're gonna do that. She's gonna take the comma end of her comma.
Mm-hmm.
Whip and smash one of them, which is a 12.
Yep. That gets it done.
It's enough, even minimum damage would make that happen.
Yep.
5.
So you burst one open.
Yeah, and then she, uses her tinderbox to strike, the torch lit, and throws it. She can't move though, so she's not trying to get too close to it. So maybe she used, the thing. So this kind of. It's not going to be an explosion, right?
You have a suspicion that it might be like that.
Okay. Well, all right. So she will. All right. So I'm going to do this. So I'm going to use my second key point, and I am going to. I didn't do the first one. That's why you see 2.
Yep.
And I'm going to use my. What is that called? Something movement. And just dash at the end of it. So I'm gonna move 60 feet and get far away from it, near the stairs or whatever.
Yep.
To get up, and then so I throw the torch, then run.
Yep. So you're quick enough. I'm going to say that it just looks dramatic more than anything because you can like position yourself in a smart way to not be caught in the blast radius. And you just chuck the torch, to which it flies through the air, lands into the puddle of alcohol, to which you just hear like a and the flame starts dancing across the floor quickly, like sweeping across, and then goes to a couple of other kegs, to which it just starts this chain reaction. And as you're starting to bolt out, you just hear like a big boom in the bottom of the deck, and then you come running out, and this big plume of flame comes shooting out from behind you.
Yeah, and she looks all proud of herself, and
but does she look back at the explosion?
What's that?
But does she look back at the explosion?
Well, yeah, she's gonna look at her handiwork. And she's going to plan on jumping back over to the other boat, which, but she's also, making sure that she's in good shape. I don't plan on moving next turn unless I have to.
Gotcha.
Because I would like to try to recharge and get as far as I possibly can.
All right, Warrendale, what are you doing? Suddenly, the bottom of the ship, the Krigvin, has this explosion go off on it that kind of you see a momentary plume of flame shoot out of the stairs, and Sunlit come running out, standing. And you got to admit, even for like a split second, maybe not out loud, she looks kind of cool.
She never looks cool. I'm not beside her. Is Frost Giant 2 trying to still get away, or is he just turning to start fighting?
He looks like he's, after the sound of the horn, turns around and gets ready to face the giants. Or the dragon, sorry.
And the dragon is attacking whom? Or
the dragon is going to attack him. That is, was retreating, but now has, at the sound of the horn from the Jarl, has turned around and readied himself to fight.
All right, I'm just going to launch a firebolt in his direction then.
What's the range on Firebolt?
120 feet.
120 feet. Yeah, with your movement. But you'll have to like basically start moving into the battlefield more if you want to actually get a shot off, because he's pretty dang far away in terms of how he basically moved across the bay from you.
Okay.
But if you want to like put yourself closer into the battlefield where Broshan is,
I'll just go after Broshan then.
Okay.
That'll be easier.
All right, shoot at Broshan. Yeah, he's definitely within range.
Alrighty. Firebolt, let's see.
That's a hit.
And I think I can drop it right on. Oh, that shouldn't. Oh, yes, it does. That's right.
Yeah, definitely right. All right, so another bolt of fire comes shooting across, hitting Broshan in the face, to which he looks up at you, and momentarily you can see like him like thinking to himself like why you're attacking him. He thought you were friends, but then he realizes the choice that he's made. And he just yells out,
we could have been friends, Broshan. Me and you and I.
He yells out, I would never be friends with a small folk.
We could have shared ice cream.
Cream's pretty good. He's made his choice, and now he has to sit in it. So, okay, Belladora, having zero luck with the crossbow, she decides that it must be broken. So she is going to pull out her sword for the first time and charge at Broshan, to which she's like kind of wading through the battle and just like, sorry, but you chose your side. Swings into him and rolls a 6. All modifiers are said and done. This chick having a rough time.
Useless.
Jesus. All right.
She was in the last fight too.
Yeah, she's been like useless for the last like 4 sessions. Yeah. Octavius, you're up next.
It's the spirit of it, the spirit of her willingness.
Okay.
Octavius, you see Broshan jump down and start to fight you guys, but as you look up, you see Nerth standing next to the Jarl, and he's looking at you, calling out to him, and he's looking at the Jarl, who doesn't seem to give a damn about him, and he's looking at you, and you just see like torment in his eyes. He doesn't know what to do.
Seeing everything that's going on and seeing this with Nerf, Octavius would yell to everyone. He'd be like, Jarl Broshan has turned on us. Without Jarl Nerf to help us, we must flee. It's time to go. and he would hope that all of his new barbarian friends and his true companions would get the hint and all head to the boats,
All right. Anything
knowing that Sunlit has accomplished.
Anything else you want to do as like an action and whatnot? Because it's basically free to talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that and just I'm actually gonna throw out. I'm gonna throw out a I can't remember what it's called. Damn, it was when my voice gets super loud. Thunderwave.
Thaumaturgy.
Yep.
No, I think I have Thunderwave or something in the my spells. The one where I use.
Thunderwave. I'm checking.
Remember how I saved the spell?
Yeah. I'm not seeing it on your spell list though. You know if you change or
Should be like one of the...
yeah, here it is. Thunderwave. Yep, Thunderwave. Level 1 spell. So that basically emanates from you, right? And it basically is like a thunder force that sweeps from you. And basically anything in a 15-foot cube of you would be blasted away. Yeah. So you're not necessarily...
Well, it's only 15 feet?
Yeah. And it emanates from you.
Okay, yeah, that's not gonna be... Yeah, no, that's all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna yell, and then I'm gonna run to a place where Octavius would be able to protect the retreat of his friends, so he would run towards the battlefield.
Okay. So you ready yourself in, to which Nurse is kind of standing there and seeing you charge into the battlefield, and you mention retreat. The Jarl's just standing next to him and just, "What are you doing, Nurse? Get in there!" To which he cowers and is not going to oppose the Jarl without any further thing, and he'll jump down and start plowing into barbarians.
Thanks, Nurth. I'm only shooting bolts at him.
In the grand scheme of bolts to Jarls, the Jarl seems to be doing pretty good. And the Tiger tribe, for the record, is getting fucked up pretty good. They've killed a total of 6 of them now.
That's 6 more than what Livy's done.
Yep. So, Livy, you're up next as 6 barbarians have just been slayed by Nurse.
Livy, hearing Tavius's call, will be positioning herself to kind of move along with the group to towards where they need to be, but all the while still keeping her aim on the Jarl with another 2. So wings, 17 and 17 to hit.
Yep, on the Jarl, that is, I believe, a hit.
Sorry, that was the wrong die.
17's 2 hits.
That was an 8 plus 5 for 13 and 12, so 25 points of piercing fire damage.
25, very nice. That's pretty impressive. However, the Jarl still seems pretty unfazed by that.
Yep, and just a reminder, she is moving along with everyone else, so that's what her movement will be.
Got you. Cryo Vein is now up, to which it starts to ready his descent down towards the giant who's up against this lodge, who suddenly has turned around at the horn of the Jarl and is ready for a fight. And as the dragon comes descending down behind him, the door kicks open from behind. And that's when you see the horde of frost giants start coming out.
20 frost giants. How lovely.
Yeah, we can take them.
Or 19 frost giants. Because we killed 1.
Cryo Vein is going to, at that point, bite, which hits. Actually, that's a hit still. Interesting. Claw, which hits, and claw again, which is going to hit one more time. All right, so next up in that initiative is going to be a bunch of NPCs. So I'm going to say now that we're at the 2 a.m. mark, that is where we will leave off, is the 19 frost giants pouring out and surrounding Cryovane. I'm gonna do his damage though, so that I at least don't forget that, as this combat has become absolutely disgusting with amount of NPCs in it. I've just turned it into a war game for myself. All right. Done. So that is where we will close out with the horde of frost giants being alerted by the Jarl. The Jarl, seeing Cryovane rip into one of his giant comrades, he will call out to obliterate all those who oppose the Jarl, bury them in the ice, break their bones, and splash their blood all across Spardberg. And they aim to do so next session. So, thanks for playing, guys. And until next time, we will have a full-on fucking war game against giants.
Excellent.
Peace out.